Okay, this is what about to happen. I'm gonna get this thing fired up, get it out, put it in storage, get FalconStein up in here, and continue the process of doing the big block Chevy to big block Ford engine swap. Yeah, that. I gotta get this out. I gotta clean my shop. I can't get Red to do nothing. Look at him. He's just over staring like a dummy. Won't do nothing. But I gotta clean my mess up. I got it from the 34 last stuff I've done on it. I got the shop destroyed as usual. So we gotta get the shop straightened out and get ready to do FalconStein stuff instead of 34 Ford coupe stuff. So yeah, let me do that. Then we'll see what happens next. Well, I got the shop opened up, cleaned up, kind of better than what it was anyway. So, got the 34 out of the way. FalconStein is over here covered up. Been covered up for, I guess, a couple months now. I don't know, time flies. But anyway, I'm gonna get the cover off of it, drag it up in the shop. Hopefully rats hadn't got up in it, built rat nests and all that mess up in there, spider or whatever. I don't know what's under there yet, but I'm gonna find out, drag it up in the shop. We're gonna go from there. Yeah, that'll work. So basically, Bullet and FalconStein just traded places. Yeah, that. Well, I don't see any rat nests. Like they got an old bird nest. That's a lot better than a rat nest, I guess. A few spider webs. I believe we're all right. So now, a lot of you guys don't like fiberglass. When I started building that 34, he said, "Oh, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with no fiberglass car." So, I don't know if you guys are still out, but the ones that got out are missing out because now we've got some solid iron up in here to work with. So we're gonna be throwing sparks and getting it ready for a blower motor. Yep, that. So what are we doing to this thing? Good question. Well, Michael, I measured the drive shaft. Michael had a drive shaft made, sent to me, so that'd be one thing is make sure the drive shaft fits. Radiator, I got the new radiator. I got the bottom mounts done with the old radiator, and the new radiator I got to make the top mounts to get the radiator mounted. I got to pull one of the back tires off because he wants to put bigger, wider tires, wheels on the back, and we done took some measurements, but I'm gonna double check, make sure we got the right offset wheel, because it's gonna be a tight fit to put 14-inch tires up under it. It's gonna be a tight fit, so I gotta make sure that's right. You gotta measure that, do that, change the rear suspension. I'm gonna raise it up an inch and modify the 4 links where it pushes down more on the rear end to get better traction, because it wasn't getting no traction before. You guys probably seen that, remember? So yeah, I got to adjust that, raise the back end up, try to figure out what we're gonna run the big, what is it, 12 AM fuel line he wants to run. I think it is something like that. Got to have a spot for that, because before it was just a 8 AM fuel line. So we're going a lot bigger fuel line, and it's not a lot of room under there. So we got to do that and a few other things. So yeah, stay tuned. Stand by. Yeah, FalconStein. Show you what I got going on here. Well, I got the rear tires off, and I made some adjustments on the rear suspension. Well, first thing, I got the drive shaft in. It's a really tight fit. I had to take this bottom, I had to take the diagonal link, drop it down. So I took this bolt out, just dropped all this down, because the drive shaft has to come up from the bottom. I had to jack the rear end all the way up still. I mean, it's a tight fit. I'm gonna show you in a minute under there how tight of a fit it is. But I dropped this bar down 2 notches so it pushed down to give more weight transfer on the car. And I may even move this one up a notch or 2 to give it even more shelf down on the back. Probably a lot of you guys hadn't even noticed how I built this, but you see I got all kind of adjustments on the suspension, front and back. And on the shocks, I moved the shocks up an inch to raise the back of the car up an inch. You see I got all kind of adjustments. I could flip these brackets upside down and get even more adjustments. So we got all kind of adjustments on the shocks. If I had to say so myself, it's a pretty cool design. I mean, I've done a lot of research when I built this thing on the internet about how to set up a 4-link for a drag car. And yeah, this is what I come up with. So this is for Michael. If you had to take that drive shaft out, what you got to do, you got to take this bolt out and drop this diagonal link and that bar down. And since I raised the shocks up a notch, I had to jack the rear end all the way up before I even adjusted the shocks. The shocks were down an inch. I had to jack the rear end all the way up to start picking up the car and all, to have room to get that drive shaft in under there. So if you have to take the drive shaft out, you might have to take the shocks loose so you can get the rear end up high enough to get that drive shaft out. It's a really tight fit up in there. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So yeah, Michael, if you had to take the drive shaft out, that's what you gotta do. Yeah, it's really tight fit. Yep, got the shifter cable there. Shifter cable. So the drive shaft is a pain in the ass to get in and out, but once it's in, it should have to come out again, hopefully. Now, next problem. Yeah, next problem. I got the fuel line run on the outside of the frame rail, but it's too little. The fuel line way too little. He wants to, this is an 8 AN. He wants to go with a 12 AN. And the problem is back here, I can't do that because I ain't got enough room. We'll put wider tires and a bigger fuel line. It's not gonna fit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut into this frame right here so I can run the fuel line through the frame. That one, and plus this one in the back, same. I know it's hard to see. I'm in a tight spot. I don't have no lift. I'm up underneath the car where it just jacked up on blocks. So but I cut through that. I got to cut through 2 of the frame rails to run the fuel line through, so we make that work. Tight fit. I had scratched the drive shaft up. It was nice black until I installed it. So you can see I got it scratched up just getting it in, but it'll be all right. It's gonna be great. So that's dimensions of the frame rail. It's 2 by 3, 3/16 thick. They got to cut through to run the fuel line through. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just cut a sharp piece of this, draw around there and take the plasma cutter and cut a rectangle hole out of this piece, and cut some of these off short where I can go through and weld it in. So the fuel line, we can run the fuel line, because he got that 12 AN fuel line, plus you have to have a return line to the back. So we'll have room for both, the 12 AN and then a smaller return line to go through. So I got 2 of these frame rails under there I got to go through. So yeah, that. So I got the new radiator. I got the bottom mounts done. I got it I was waiting on a new radiator to do the top mounts. So now that I got the radiator, I can do the top radiator mounts. I got oil filter relocator. Oil filter relocator is gonna go somewhere on this firewall. Hopefully I can find a spot for it. It's gonna be tough. But yeah, you see, you can't get no filter on it, no room. So yeah, oil filter relocator, that's gotta be a pain in the ass to get that. So I got plenty of room to get to the transmission bell housing bolts. So when we get ready to swap engines, we can leave the transmission in. Since I already got the drive shaft in, I got the shifter cable, shifter all in. I'm gonna have the cooling lines. I gotta do those too. So we can just take those bolts out and leave the transmission in and pull this old block out and put the new blower motor in. That's the plan. Yeah, it's real busy back here. It's gonna be even more busy time we get all the fuel lines and everything else in. The front is gonna be even more busy. Time we get the fuel pump in, the big 12 AN line and return line to go from there back to the back. This side is not too bad, maybe, I don't know yet. Got the water pump's gonna be on the bottom of the radiator. I'll show you that in a little while. But it's gonna be going to that front freeze plug. They're gonna be, I don't know if you can see it, but it got threaded holes. There's gonna be a fitting on each side of the block going in that front freeze plug hole where the water line from the water pump hooks up. So that's gotta come in, fuel line. We're gonna have a radiator there with the water pump on the bottom. Like I said, fuel pump, we gotta mount the alternator over there. Man, it's gonna be busy up here, I'm telling you. Inside, it's kind of busy up in here too, actually. But I got the sidewinder shifter in. No wire, I don't have no wires hooked up yet. I'm gonna wait till Michael gets here. We're gonna do all that because I don't know exactly what all he wants done. So we're gonna do that when he gets here. And who knows what that'll be, but when he does, we'll do all the wiring too. It's gonna be great. Michael had that glove box door, Falcon, and he had Stein made, so name it FalconStein. Man, it's almost like winter time up in here today. We didn't have much, but the sky was white. So I'm up under the car. I don't really like to be under here, but sometimes you gotta do it anyway. But I made the spot for the fuel line to go through the frame, and another one, same on the back across there. You can see the daylight through the hole. I will say this, my second least favorite thing to do is crawl around up under a car and try to work on it. My first least favorite thing to do is get up underneath the car, crawl around the floor and try to weld stuff. So, but yeah, it's a rat roddy weld. It'll be fine. It's gonna be great. Get the job done, that's all that matters. So this guy is a problem. Oil filter relocator. The part that goes here is not a problem. Not a problem with that. A problem with this. We need to mount it on the firewall. On this side preferably. And it's not a lot of options there. Can't get it nowhere under there. Forget that. Right here, a couple possibilities, but not really good ones. You see it's got a mounting bracket on it. I could turn that line down, maybe. That might be the best place, but then the other line comes like really close to the brake master there. So I don't know, that stiff line, I don't know if we can get around that or not. We might could turn this. And then that line on this side, we'll have to go down. Have to make a sharp bend and still be kind of close to the header. I got like an inch, maybe 2 inches there. And that hose is probably an inch or bigger outside diameter. So it'd be close to the header, which is probably not a big deal, but there is that. And then the other line has to come over top of the master cylinder and go down. I think we can do that. That might be the best place for it right there. I mean, we're gonna see. I'm gonna get with Michael, we're gonna make a decision on that. But anyway, yeah, this guy, get this guy right there. Now, the relocator I used on my last 2 rat rods was not like that. It was just a small adapter with the fittings coming out this way, and you screw the oil filter on that end. And with that, I could just put it on the frame down there, have the oil filter this way, and have the lines coming out the front and go to the other end. But this one's a lot bigger lines, and this has got a serviceable screen insert in there. So Michael wanted that because he could take it apart and clean it and put it back together. Don't need a new oil filter every time. So yeah, that. So I work on something else. So I got the new radiator. I guess I'm gonna break it out, get it out of the box. And like I said, I already got the bottom mounts. See, there's one there, one on that side, rubber pad on the bottom. It's gonna get rubber cushion for the mounts. And then I gotta make top mounts, so you'll see when I get the radiator in there what I got to deal with. And then run the cooling lines. Then put the transmission cooler on the front of the radiator. I mean, we ain't got that near that far yet, but anyway, that's gonna be after I get the radiator mounted, put the oil cooler, transmission oil cooler front, run the cooling lines back to the transmission. And the good thing is, being me smart, I'll make things easy to work on. I got some panels, I can remove those panels to get to the transmission cooling lines from right there inside the car. There's the drive shaft. I got a panel. Well, I'll show you the other side too. Yeah, got a few spider webs hanging around up there. Anyway, I got panel on this side too. I can take off and get to the transmission, the shift cable and all that stuff. Now, it's a different story when you get the shifter. All that's a complicated issue there. Hopefully, I don't want to take that out too many times. But anyway, yeah, I can get to adjust it. Well, it's kind of hard to adjust, but you can get to it, and yeah, that. Yeah. Got racket pinion steering. Fox, actually it's a Mustang 2, I guess, Fox body or Mustang 2. Racket pinion is what that is. Need some new boots. But anyway, I'm gonna get that radiator here. You can see I got a lot of stuff going on. We ain't got near about all the stuff in yet, but it's gonna all be a tight fit up here. Gonna be a lot of stuff going on up under the hood of this car. So that's another reason, like I said, I make stuff easy to work on. That's why I made that flip front end, so you can just pull the hood pins and flip that front up and you can get to just about everything. So after measuring center to center on the bottom radiator bolts, mounts, I got 26 5/8. And plus I had to measure here to make sure I got enough room because the new radiator wider than the one I mounted in here. So yeah, that. It's gonna be fine. What I want done. So what I done with some various drill bits and rubber hose and stuff. I drilled holes, measured, drilled holes. It didn't have no holes in it. It had drilled holes for the mount. And I drilled them big so I could put a piece of rubber hose inside the hole. And then it's gonna get this rubber belt material. It's already got one on the bottom, you just seen it. And it's gonna have one on top, so it'd be rubber, squished together rubber. No metal to metal mount, so it'd be rubber, all rubber mounted on the bottom. So vibration, hopefully it won't get no vibration and break the radiator. So I got the upper radiator mounts made, fabricated, painted. Just got that one stuck on. You can see at the bottom, I got a slot and a bracket, just in case we need to slide the radiator forward just a little bit more. We have an adjustment there to be able to do that. And the other side, one on the other side, same. Next project, mount the transmission oil cooler. So there's the oil cooler. As it was on the big block Chevy engine, I got to modify it because the brackets is not the same. I got to take it apart and modify this X brace to make it happen. So yeah, I got to take it apart and modify it. Yeah, simple as that. Moving right along, I got the radiator mounted and transmission oil cooler. I made some brackets to go across to the bosses. Got the oil cooler bolted there. Brackets, they go back to the frame. And let's see, I don't know, you can't see it, I don't think, but anyway, the bracket as well to the frame has got a slot in it. So this is adjustable in case we need to move the radiator back a little bit more. Can't move back much, but we got a little adjustment just in case we need to do that. This is a 3/8 stainless rod. So yeah, it's strong. It ain't gonna go nowhere. It'll be fine. It's gonna be great. Now I gotta plumb it up. We got an issue with that. I'm gonna show you right now. So the problem is, I've been using this nylon braided hose and, you know, wrap black tape around it and cut it. And you end up with something like that. And the fitting is still very difficult to get on. You can see it swells up a little bit after you cut it. On FalconStein, Michael sent this steel braided line, which even flares out even worse. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's impossible. It's not even close to getting that fitting on. So I called Michael and asked him what's the secret. He said, what the problem is that black tape, electrical tape, stretches, especially when you cut it and it gets hot where you cut it, it just kind of, it just swells, the end of the hose just swells out. he said get the tape with the string in it. And after doing some research, I found out what he's talking about is strapping tape. It's got fiberglass reinforcement, so it won't stretch. So I'm gonna split some down. I don't need it that wide, so I'm gonna split it down the middle and use some of this tape and cut it again to see if I can get it on there. The problem, one of the problems is, if you check the fitting, if you check the inside of the fitting is smaller than the hose. See, I have to go like 10, 20, 30 thousandths. At least 30 thousandths. The hose is bigger than the fitting. So even if I get the tape on, get it cut without it stretching, that's still gonna be a problem getting it on, but I'm gonna try it and see what happens. If I can't get it, I just have to wait till the master, Michael, gets here, because he builds those monster trucks. He uses these hoses everywhere, so he knows the secret to getting it done. So I'm gonna try it and see what happens. I think I might have it. These fittings don't have the threaded on the inside. You can't screw it on there. You got to shove it on there. Hey, it's on. I got it all the way up in there. Imagine that. Hey, it's going. I think we got it. That's it right there. She's in. One down, 3 more to go for the transmission cooling lines. Yeah, we got it. Okay, got the transmission cooling lines ran, cut, plumbed up. I don't have them strapped. I mean, when we swap the engine, we'll use tie strap, whatever, or strap them down. But right now it is cut and stuck on there. Yeah. Yep. Works like a charm. The number one tip for this video is when you're making these AN lines, especially if you're using a steel braided hose, is to get you some of the strapping tape. Appreciate the tip, Michael, because probably wouldn't be able to do it without it. So yeah, strapping tape for AN lines. Number one tip. I don't know if I told you guys, but this radiator is really unique, Ron Davis. What happens is, it's got a divider right here on this tank, because what happens is, the water comes in on this side, and it's got that divider so it can't go down, so it has to come across into this side, then it comes across here. And the suction, the pump is on this side too. Of course, I don't have the pump on it, but that orange cap down there is where the pump goes. So yeah, water comes in, goes over, comes back, double flow. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, they say it works great. So that's a really thick core radiator. So hopefully to keep that blower motor cool, we're gonna find out one day in the future. Yeah, if you want a serious radiator, this is the guy right here. Yeah, not cheap. You get what you pay for, I guess. So the fabrication is done on FalconStein, ready for the blower motor now. So this one's going out back under cover, and the 34 bullet is coming back in for more work. It's kind of hard to see. It's tight fit, but I got a bracket up in there for the oil filter relocator. When we pull this old block out, I got a weld at it. It's kind of hard to get to, so when we pull the block out, I got it tacked right now, so I welded up when we pull that block out before we put the blower motor in for the oil filter relocator. Yeah, that. Yeah, radiator's mounted, got the top brake braces on, got the transmission oil cooler fabricated, fit, plumbed up, all that good stuff. Yeah. So Michael, ready for a blower motor, so your move. It's your move, Michael. Need a blower motor. I still need a couple fittings to run the fuel line all the way back to the tank. Michael's busy with monster trucks, as you might imagine. He got 4 of them, trying to keep them going, carry them to shows every week, so whatever. So hopefully when he brings the blower motor, he brings the rest of the fittings we need to plumb this thing up. So yeah, that. All right, I gotta get the back tires back on this. Remember I raised it up. I done some adjustments on the suspension in the rear, jacked it up 1 inch, and some other things. Michael hadn't got the bigger tires yet, so we're gonna put the old ones back on to get it out of the shop and get bullet in. You guys stay tuned, because the next video is a bullet coming back in, front panhard bar installation. Needs a front panhard bar, make it drive better. So yeah, next video that, so stay tuned. Appreciate you. See you next time.